Manipulations and disruptive ideas. Manipulation is something that's interesting because a lot of people think that manipulation is a negative thing. If you go back to the origin of the word manipulation, it doesn't mean anything negative at all. And yet, when you look at the modern day dictionary, one of the first parts of the definition is manipulation. Let me read the modern day dictionary of manipulation. First is manipulated or manipulating to manage or influence skillfully. So that's the first aspect. Then it says, just a little tagged on by the dictionary creators, especially in an unfair manner. So let's get rid of the especially in an unfair manner. Let's get rid of that and let's talk about manipulation. Manipulation to manage or skillfully influence. So when you and I are doing something in business, we want to do both of those things. We want to manage and we want to skillfully influence. We want to make sure that whatever we're doing, it is influencing the direction, the flow. We want to make sure that it's creating the space that we want. We want to make sure that the systems and the processes are working. Those are all considered manipulation. Those are things that we must understand that we are going to have to manipulate things in order for us to receive the achievement or the desired end that we want. The other thing is this other definition that's found in this same dictionary: to handle, manage, or use, especially with skill. So don't allow the term manipulation or the idea of manipulation or the thought, because I'm going to talk about manipulation and the disruptions. When we talk about manipulation, we're not talking about manipulating someone's emotion for the sake of gain. We're talking about helping people discover what they're looking for, helping people find it. We're going to manage and influence skillfully emotions, directions, guidance. We're going to help and guide people. We're going to fulfill people's desires, right? That's what marketing is. That's what advertising, making sure that we're connecting with their desires and then fulfilling that with our product. So that's not manipulation, although it is, because we're skillfully managing a flow of something. The word influence means something that is flowing. It actually comes from the word that means to flow, a spiritual or a substance so subtle, so small, almost unseen, that affects in change. It inflows, or it's the word inflow, into something or into someone. So when you're inspiring someone, you are manipulating with influence their hearts and their desires, but you're not manipulating in a negative way. You're actually using your power of inspiration to take a person to where they want to go, help them reach where they want to go. And so this is not manipulation in a negative way. Manipulation in a very positive way. The other word, manipulation, means to adapt. That same word in the same definition is to adapt and to change, to create change. So when you're going to make sure that you're manipulating something, you're adaptable. If you don't want to be manipulated or manipulator, then you're going to miss the idea that manipulation is not a negative word. And I need you to have that, because when you're going to be a problem solver, you're manipulating the circumstances for the sake of an opportunity, right? That's why most people don't find solutions in problems, and they try to avoid problems, or they're constantly looking for solutions instead of looking at the problem. When you look at the problem, you have to learn to manipulate that problem in order to find a solution. Right? So manipulation is a problem-solving tool. When you find out that you're going to solve a problem, you're going to have to manipulate it. If you don't manipulate it, the problem stays the same. And you don't want it to stay the same. You want it to change. You want it to adapt. You want to handle it, manage it. You want to especially be skillful in changing its flow, right? Influence is the way something is flowing. I want to change its flow. I don't want it to be negative in my life. I want it to be positive. I'm going to make this problem is not going to go away. Problems don't go away. They change, right? They change. You never have a problem that goes away. A problem will continue to reinvest itself and reinvent itself and come back to you if you don't change it. It doesn't just go away. It doesn't have the power of resolving itself. I know that we think a lot of things do. Everything that is in your life that's a problem needs manipulation. It needs you to manipulate it, to add your skill, to manage it, to transform it, to change it, influence it, to inspire it to be something different. And when you put all these words together, you're realizing that this is how disruptions work in the marketplace. Is someone has a problem and they're not allowing that problem to stay the same, and they're not going to allow that problem to influence them. They're going to turn and manipulate that problem until you are influencing that problem to become something that's going to be disruptive, something that's going to change the way everything is done. You want that. You want to change the way things are done. So otherwise, the problem is there to cause you to wake up to something. Pain is in your body to cause you to wake up to something. Oh, you wake up every morning and your neck is stiff. Your neck is a problem. You have a challenge with your neck. I wish I was running some ads right now for somebody with some pillows right now in this space. But the fact is I actually do have that account. I probably should tag that on the end of this. Anyway, but if you are in this situation where you're having a problem, I'm going to just say, hey, here's a word from my sponsor in a minute. I'm going to dig that in there. My pillow, you're going to understand that you're waking up every day with a bad neck because you need a new pillow. So maybe you need to go and check out Mike Lindell's My Pillow, and you can do that with the promo code at the end of this. We'll do that. That's going to be fun. We'll just put that out. Never thought about that. We'll just put that on there at the end here pretty soon. When we edit it, whatever that is. All right, so here we go. But you need to understand that you're waking up every day because you have a bad pillow. Well, that's a problem. Do you want to keep on having a bad neck? No. Well, you need to actually change your pillow, get a pillow that works for you, get the size, the comfort, the texture, everything you need that works for you. And then now what did you do? You manipulated something. You changed first your thoughts, you changed your circumstances, you took out the pillow that was there, you got the Mike Lindell My Pillow with my promo code, which I think is, I don't remember, fun. And I think it's fun. You put that on the end of it, you realize that there is now a new pillow you're now taking care of. All right. So that's manipulation. You don't allow it to stay the same. Otherwise, it continues to influence you. It's going to influence you every single day if you don't change it. So when do you realize that you need to change it? Every single day you wake up with pain. So when you ignore pain, you ignore problems, you ignore circumstances and challenges, you try to ignore them and pretend like I don't see them. They're not here. If I close my eyes, the ghost goes away. It doesn't go away. You have to understand it's going to show up again. So what needs to happen? You need to become a manipulator. You need to become a manipulator. You need to become someone who's going to say, this is going to change today. I'm going to manipulate this. What does that mean? I'm going to adapt. I'm going to adapt it to my life instead of me adapting to pain every day. I'm going to adapt it to my life. I'm going to bring about some kind of change. I'm going to change my pillow out. I'm going to change my house, my car, whatever it is. I'm going to change it because change is a form of manipulation. When you hate change, you hate manipulation. I hate manipulation. You hate change. You hate change. You hate manipulation. You hate having solutions. And if you hate having solutions, then you love having problems. So don't be someone who loves problems. Be someone who hates having a problem, because problems are the very essence, the very thing you need in your life to manifest the solution that's going to bring about the increase that you want in your life. Manipulation from the 1828 dictionary, I think it's 1828 dictionary, is this. It says, this is the older revelation of it, work by hands. Your work by hands is manipulated. That's what the definition, manual operations, as in mining, manner of digging, or in chemistry, the operations of preparing substances for experiments. You need to know that you are someone that is able to manipulate, that you're able to get in there with your hands and turn it around. You are handy, right? That's what they say, handy. You're a handy person. You're a handy individual. You know how to get involved and get your hands dirty and make it work. So you're going to have to add you to it. If you add you to a circumstance, it immediately starts to change, because you're someone who is a change agent. You're someone who is going to turn things around because you don't allow it to influence you. You're going to be the one that influences it. The reason I don't believe in the Big Bang, for many reasons, I'm a Bible believer, but number one is I don't want anything just to give me a circumstance or happenstance, some idea that something can accidentally happen to me, and it may turn into something that crawls out of the muck and mire of mud. I'm not interested in that. I don't want something that bangs against me and all of a sudden creates. That's terrible. I want something that comes from my mouth and it creates. I want something that comes from my inner being and creates. I don't want something that accidentally bumps into me and now it created an issue. I'm not going to be on the receiving end of an accident. I'm going to be someone who's purposefully manipulating the circumstances that come my way, and I'm going to get my hands in it. I'm going to get my creative force in it. I'm going to find my innovation in it, and I'm going to give myself to making it different, bringing about the desired change. Now, if you don't have that, you need to develop it, because problems don't go away. Problems don't go away. You are an influencer. You're someone who gets your hands in there. That's the definition. Someone who gets their hands by your hands. I'm not talking about you have to be a manual labor, but someone that says, I'm not going to wait for someone else to do it. I'm not going to throw my hands up. I'm not going to just throw my hands up and go, oh, well, what happens, happens. No, you are not. You're not an evolutionist. You are creationist. Creationists don't believe in something just happening. Everything's by design. And if everything's by design, then everything can be manipulated into a change. Everything can be dramatically transformed. And so I want you to take that as a principle in your life, to know that I am going to be able to change whatever comes my way. And I have the power of transformation. I have the power of manipulation. I have the power of changing it and turning it around and making it a disruption. Let's talk about disruption for a second, because disruption is extremely important. A disruptive idea, and it functioned out, worked into a manipulation, will become a disruption. Now, this is the important part. Some people have a problem and they look at it and go, look at my problem. Some people have a problem and they look at it and they realize, what is this problem really telling me? What is it telling me I need to solve? How do I fix this? You're not looking at for a solution, you're looking at the problem. And when you look at the problem, you go, what is this problem really? What is this? Okay, so I have a crick in my neck. Is there something wrong with my neck? No, because it goes away by the afternoon, but I wake up with it. Okay, so now I'm realizing I need to go see, my chiropractor, or I need to go and I need to get a new pillow, my pillow fun code for discount, right? Whatever that is, you need to figure out what that may be. And then you can be someone who then has an idea, a disruptive idea. It all starts with an idea. It's not enough to be an idea. It has to start with an idea. The idea is that I think I can change that problem with this idea. That idea is disruptive. Now I've got to take this disruptive idea, make it and place it into a place of manipulation, where I'm going to execute. The manipulator is an executor, someone who executes the idea. So you're going to execute the idea, and then you're going to formulate it into a disruptive pattern that over and over and over disrupts until you have a disruption in a marketplace. Now, it's important that you have this disruption in the marketplace. Look at Thomas Harris said this about disruption. Problem solving is hunting. This is a problem solving. Problem solving is hunting. It is savage. It is savage pleasure, and we are born to it. You need to be a hunter. Someone who has a problem is you're hunting down. You're hunting. You look at it as an opportunity. And when you give yourself to the opportunity and you act like it's a hunting, I'm on a hunt here, it's going to be fun. We're going to discover something. We're going to find what we're looking for. We're going to find our prize in the midst of this problem. And when you find that prize, you realize it's an absolute thrill and a pleasure to have an aha moment when you're in a problem. I know what to do. I know what to do. That idea. Now put that idea in some manipulation. Get your hands dirty in it. Get organized around it. Structure around it. Manage it. Influence it. Inspire it. Whatever you have to do, get that working. And then it works out as some disruption in the marketplace. Disruption is this: a forcible separation, or division into parts. A forcible separation or division in the parts. You need to know that you're going to actually have to look at the problem and dismantle it. You are going to find power in dismantling your problem. You're going to find a lot of power in it. When you look at it, you're going to go, okay, let's force this into pieces. Let's force this into parts. Okay. We're going to take this part and we're going to put that here. That we need to keep this. That part, we don't need that. This part, we might need that. I'm not sure, but I know we don't need this. So what do we do instead of this part? And then you go, you know, it would work here. This would work here. And then you have that. And then you take this part and you put this part there, this other solution, this idea, and you have these two parts. And you go, that works. What is the part that works that's already there that you shouldn't leave? You should leave and should never move. That is the principal value of something. You leave the principal value of something. It's the green eggs and ham strategy that I have for most of the things I do in life. Is will I eat it on a bike? Will I eat it on a trike? Will I eat this? Right, whatever it is, there's a principal thing. No matter how much the creature was turning down, I don't want to eat green eggs and ham. The principle is I know you're going to like green eggs and ham, so I'm going to keep bringing it to you. I'm going to bring it to you this way. I'm going to bring it to you on YouTube. I'm going to bring it to you on that way, through television, through splash media, whatever. I'm going to bring it through whatever way I can, because I know you like green eggs and ham if you taste it, and I'm going to keep on, right? This is the principal thing. It's not going to change. Or my principal thing would be, I'm in transportation. I'm not going to change the fact I'm in transportation, so I'm keeping it there. So what am I going to do? What's the problem with it? Well, the problem is that it's awkward and it's uncomfortable, and we have these companies that run it, and they're not really caring about the customer anymore, and there's no review and relationship problem. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take this, we're going to build an app associated to it, and now we're going to give this app and empower other people, which is that part over here. Okay, so we are going to replace those people who drive the transportation vehicles, the cabs, and we're going to replace them. We're going to give this to a person who just wants to have an extra buck on the side here. And this little app is going to now connect them with people who still need transportation, because that's the principal value that's not going to change. And that's a disruption. That's how Disruptor works. A disruption is there's a principal value. There's a core value of something that should never be changed, but the technology should be added and the empowerment should be added. If you miss those two things that are added to the principal value, you miss the greatest wealth creation thought process there is in the earth. You have to understand, we're going to always have certain things that will never go away. Domiciles, we will always, whether they're tiny or whether they're large, or this is my crib, whatever it is, it's always going, people are going to always have to find a place to live. They're always going to need that. They're going to find a place of sleep, because shelter is safety. It's one of the Maslow's charts, the lowest one, right? It's one of the lowest ones. Is we need to be physically safe, then we physically provided for, and then physically safe. So a house is always going to be that. Real estate is never going to go away. We're always going to have it. So so that's there. Well, do we do it the same? Well, now we have Airbnb, which empowers a person and brings technology in it, the empowerment and technology with the principal value. Come on, somebody. I'm trying to tell you something up here and then up here and up here. You need to understand that there is so much that you can bring to the world if you realize that your problem always has a principal value in it. And that principal value won't change. If you can hone in what that principal value is, dismantle to where this thing you can forcibly separate the value, and you bring in the two other things that are very key elements to making a disruptive force right now. And it may change in the years to come, but trending now is the fact that disruptions need to have technology and empowering people to be able to do it themselves. And when you realize that is the power of it, that is the strength of a disruptive force, you're going to not look at problems the same. You're going to realize this problem is $1 million problem. This problem is a $2 million problem. This problem is a $5 million problem. How can that be? Well, I'm going to turn this around. We're going to do something with this, and this is going to, right. And everyone's problem has the ability to be $1 million idea. Your problem is something that other people are dealing with. Let me show you that in the scripture. Can I show you that in the scripture? I have a few more minutes. 1 Peter 5. This is what the Bible says. 1 Peter 5 says, stand firm against him. Talking about the devil. The devil is the creative force that loves to create problems. But if he was created by God, why did God create him? Let me tell you, he created him for us to have a workout partner who creates problems the whole time. And he builds weights around us and stacks those loads of the weight. And we're constantly working out with him, developing our strength to be like God, developing our God eyes, our God mouth, our God ears, our God signs, power, right? We're developing to be like God. Let us make man in our image. Well, first, what we're going to do first? We're going to put a devil in there, right? No, so he creates this opposition so that you can discover your power, right? Your superpower is hidden in your problem. And so when you find your problem is going to be a discovery opportunity. You're going to find your principal value in it. And then you find your principal value, you'll find out how you're going to bring what you bring to the table. Maybe you have technology, maybe you have this empowerment system. I'm not sure, but you're going to find your place of manipulation, your management and influence, right? If you think about the technology is the place of management, and the empowering, allowing people to empower things themselves, to be empowered by you to do it themselves, that is the influence. That's the inspirational aspect of it. So if you look at anything that's growing, anything that's taken off, anything that's happening right now has these 3 components: the principal value, the power of I can do it, and the power of give me the tool to do it, which is going to be technology, right? The increasing of technology. And when you realize it, this is what the scripture is saying. So stand firm against him. Speaking of the enemy, the opposer. Now, the opposer is there for this level of strength that's supposed to come to you, strength and faith. Be strong in your faith. So the reason he's there is so I can be increased in my faith. And the reason I need to be increased in my faith is because faith sees what's beyond what is now. Faith has the element of the unseen. Faith is the substance of things not yet seen. So we need to know that God wants us to have faith. What does he do? He puts a problem in front of you. What does he do? He puts an enemy in front of you that is a problem causer, so that you can now have faith to see past that, and you're going to see something on the other side, and it's going to activate your ability to be a futurist, a prophet, whatever you want to see, an inspired person, and you're going to see beyond the problem so that you can now bring into the current moment what you see to happen in the future. Woo, come on, somebody. I need you to know that there's something happening in the future, and you're going to have to bring that into the current moment. But as long as you're looking at the problem instead of standing in the midst of it with your faith, put your faith against it. Stand face to faith. Right? And when you stand face to faith, it will cause you to have this thing. Now, when you stand in that place of faith, then he tells you something really interesting. What does he say? He says, remember that your Christian brothers and sisters all over the world are going through the same kind of suffering you are. That's business right there. That everybody who's going through, if you can stand, the person who stands in the faith of it, and they are able to look in the faith of a obstacle, the faith of a problem, the faith, and stand with faith to look in the face of these things and get eyes on the other side of it, to bring back that disruptive idea, to then stand and put yourself in a manipulative position where you're going to be the one to change it. You'll change it. It will then be a disruption for all the other people that have the same problem. The person who figures out and stands in the faith against it will be the person who will introduce to the rest of the world the solution, and will create a disruptive idea that will never, ever allow that industry solve whatever that problem is solving in that industry to ever be the same. And if you have the same problem, there's at least 150,000 other people that have that problem. If you have that problem, there's at least 1 million other. Can I just say 1 million other? We have 8 billion people on the planet. There's at least another 1 million people that have the same problem. And all you have to do to be a millionaire is to sell each one of them one every single year for $1. For $1, somebody. Come on. All you have to do is find out how I can get this in front of 1 million people who will pay me $1 for it. Now pay me $1 for it. Now everybody wants to make the big deals, but I'm telling you, eBay wasn't made off of the big dollars. It was made off of the 25 cents, first to 10 cents. You have to understand, when you become that person that's able to solve someone's problem and it's worth 10 cents to them, then all you have to do is find 100 million people who will pay you 10 cents or pay you whatever, right? You have to just find the people, find a person who will pay you $1 for 100, for a million people to pay you $1 for one, right? That's not difficult when you solve their problems. When you solve their problems. So when you are solving the problems, and which I love this idea of taking, they need transportation, and now we have these transport. I'm not sponsored by them, so they're not getting their name out there. These transport people who have an app for the people and who have this, the empowerment, and now this person can make an extra $50, extra $100, and now extra $200, and depending on what they do, maybe this is their full time. Now this person is empowered. Not only are they willing to pay you a little bit of a kickback for it, they're also getting money for it. That's powerful. When you empower them to make money as well as you're getting money, because you've only done one thing, really two things max, is you created a new system that is going to help them keep the principal value while they are empowered to do it. They can choose when they want to work. They can choose when they don't want to work. You put people in business. What a powerful thing. What a mighty, mighty thing that is. And you and I can do it, but you have to remember something. If you stand in the face of this thing, you solve the problem. You've got to have the faithfulness. You have to have the faithfulness. Be responsible. Don't be an irresponsible person. You have to be responsible. What's the responsibility? If you know the solution, it's your responsibility to tell 1 million other people. And it's your responsibility to sell it to them. It's your responsibility to sell them what you have spent your time in your faith solving. It's your responsibility. Listen, I'm about to chap in my lips. You guys are going to get this part. About to, what? Shoot, don't make me. Yes, that's right. You better understand. It's your responsibility. It's your responsibility that you turn around and tell the other brothers and sisters. If they're truly your brothers and your sisters, you wouldn't leave them hanging out there with nothing, with no solution, letting them figure it out. It's your responsibility to start a business. It's your responsibility to turn it around and sell it to other people. It's your responsibility to let them pay you $1 per person. It's your responsibility to become a millionaire because you sat in the face of an obstacle that God allowed to come your way and didn't save you from it. My goodness, this is some stuff here, boy. You need to understand, it's your responsibility. I don't know if I believe in sales. It's not that you believe in sales. You want your brothers and your sisters to suffer. You want them to continue to suffer in the thing that you just found out the solution. Then sell it to them if you don't want them to suffer. Well, I don't know if I believe in entrepreneurship and making money. You want your brothers and sisters to continue to suffer? Are you serious? You don't want them helped. Well, I don't know if I should charge the money for it. Well, did you not go through the trouble? And did you stand in the face of something that no one else stood in the face of, and you came up with a solution? Well, don't you think that you should have some trouble for your power of manipulation? Don't you think that someone should be able to reward you for standing in the face and you're bringing the solution, and they should find value in it because you're holding the value, you keep the principal value? I'm telling you, you have a responsibility to make money on this. You have a responsibility to sell it to them, and you have a responsibility to make it a big business. You have this responsibility to be a disruptor in your industry because you went in the future, brought something back from the future, brought it into the now, and created it. You deserve, and you have a responsibility. I don't even want to be in the deserve moment right now. You have a responsibility to get out there and make something happen and create an opportunity that will make something happen for other people by creating a business that empowers them not to be in suffering any longer. If you really think that they're your brother and your sister, you really think that that's my brothers, my sisters, my brothers and my sisters. So take me by the hand. I don't know the rest of it, so I can't sing it. All right. Anyway, you have a responsibility to do it, to make it happen. Well, Christians are these people that think that everything should be given out for free. You need to stop it. That makes Jesus look bad. You need to understand that he put you in business for the sake of making this world go around better. And you need to make that happen, right? So problem solving demands that you embrace the tension and the awkwardness of the moment. Bam, 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 bam. That's why you have to have faith. Faith gives you the ability to handle the tension and the awkwardness of the moment. All right, so I'm gonna have to break off here a little Kit Kat bar, but let me just show you something. I shouldn't say that because they're not my sponsors either. I don't really have any sponsors, but they're not my sponsors. I need to get some sponsors for this show right here. Get the sponsor. Here we go. Let's see this. I want to read. Well, maybe I can read it. I'm not going to read it. Okay, so there's a gentleman by the name John Foley. John Foley is one of the co-founders and CEO of Peloton bikes, in-house cycling bikes. And what's really interesting is that he was so busy in his business before Peloton that he didn't have a chance to work out. The problem was he wanted to work out. He liked cycling. He liked going to cycling classes, but he didn't have the time to do it. They were family, business, wanted to be a great husband. So he and his wife decided that they were going to connect with this cycling. So they were Peloton bikes. You know what their cost is, but they created the Peloton bike, created it so that you could, in your house, in your home, in your living room, your bedroom, wherever you put it, you can actually do what you want to do. What is he doing? He's keeping the principal value, the workout. What did he do? He added technology. You have in your house now the coaches that you want. They have a studio that they film and they create all of these different programs. They, through technology, put it on there, and it empowers you to be in charge of what you're going to do. Now, I've one of the guys that helps me with my media. He's on his Peloton every day. He's working that thing out. At least think he's every day, maybe 5 times a week, but he's on it. And he's racing against someone else because he gets to see that other people are on it, and he's on there racing against other people in some competition there. He's like, I'm coming up on you. I know you're the best in the world. I'm coming. And he's racing, and he has this coach on there, and it's interesting space that they created. But what did they do? They took the principal value, they kept it, and they did all of this based upon their problem. They looked at the problem. What's the problem? We love to work out. We love cycling. We don't have time to go with our family, with our lifestyle. We don't have time to go to a place with travel and everything for that any longer. So new solution. Let's create a bike with a big screen on it. And we're going to create our own TV studio. So the recording studio. So we record, and now we have all of this. Again, you'll see the same components on every one of these things that we're using nowadays. The trend is principal value, technology, empowering people. All right. So this has been a great day. I'm excited to be with you today. And this is don't forget to like, share, and push the notifications so that you can get more of this kind of training every single week. Your subscription to this and your connecting to this helps us grow. It helps the algorithm find us and helps that algorithm share with other people when you like and you comment. So make sure you like and you comment. Make sure that you connect with us by the subscription and push the notification so that it will let you know that every time I put up a new video and every time we come on live is right here. We have something coming up New Year's Day, New Year's morning. I'm going to share what I believe is going to be a dynamic prophetic focus for 2023. It's going to be right here, Saturday morning live. Don't miss that. Be a part of that. You're going to love that. Get ready for the new year. And then we have the Kingmakers Challenge launching on January 3rd. It's going to be the Kingmaker.school. Don't miss that. That's going to be powerful. 5-day challenge. It's going to help you launch into your next level. It's going to help you build in your leadership. It's going to help you strong. Go to the Kingmaker.school. You can register for that right now. 5-day challenge, completely free. And it's designed to help you become dynamic and powerful, someone who's doing great things. All right. So we'll see you next time. Don't forget, right here, next Saturday morning, 10 a.m. See ya.